Okay. I think another 4 minutes. I will start. Bisa dibuka nggak linknya? Itu I send the link. FB. Belum ya? Aku nge-tag kamu. Excuse me. Streamingnya lancar ya? Di itu. Okay, another 1 minute. I will start. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ganggamas Koritos. This is my first live streaming, with the Magic Legend. Tonight, I start with the legend of magic from India. His name is Shankar Junior. Yeah. Before that, I will show you one of the video.
too is similar to what the custom mold is supposed to look like. But the custom mold is actually a classic trick, and you're about to see it performed by a master magician. Not an old master, a young master who's ready to perform this trick in the traditional Indian style. And you're going to be charmed by the amazing Shankar Junior.
All right. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in my life, YouTube with Magic Legend from India, and please now welcome Shankar Junior.
Hello, everyone. Hi, it's a pleasure
Namaste.
being here. Thank you, Ganga. Namaste. How are you, Ganga? It's a pleasure being with you after a very long time. I'm great. You can hear me well? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Okay, thank you.
I can hear you. Perfect.
Thanks. Good. So it's a real pleasure.
You can hear me clearly?
Perfect.
Okay. So how's the things, Shankar?
Things are, it's okay. I mean, yeah, we are in a pretty bad situation, yes, but taking care of ourselves. We are staying indoors and, trying to be as much indoors as possible, not exposing ourselves much outside. These are difficult times, yes, but what to do? We have to be positive. That's it.
Yeah. So I think we are in the same condition. So even like myself now, I usually travel to some countries.
Exactly. Yep.
Now I cannot go. I cannot go anywhere. Even frequently, I always go to India and some
Yeah,
other countries. So
exactly.
now things is different. So we still need to wait all of this
This time,
uncertainty.
I know, I know,
Yeah,
I know.
but
It's really,
we still
uh,
need to keep positive as always. Yeah.
yes, just staying positive, doing the best we can. That's it. That's all we can do now.
Yes, Shankar, you're right. So, by the way, this is actually my first live streaming with Magic Legend, and the first episode is with you, my friend.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm
So
honored.
before I entered you here, I introduced one of the video of your signature video. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I take from your YouTube channel. Yeah. Gili Gili Magic,
Was,
right? Yeah.
was it the
Your
cups and
YouTube
balls?
channel is Gili Gili Magic, correct? Am I right?
Was it the cups and balls? Yes, of course. Was it the cups and balls?
Yeah, the cups and balls. Yeah. You know what?
Okay, okay.
Those video were has been spread in so many places. Even before I know you personally, I watched
Uh-huh.
that video already. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Even my wife is a big fan of you. My family, especially. Yeah. With those cups and balls routine, and you know what? The first time we met on the convention, I think.
Yes.
I never think before that it was you, because we always think, oh, Shankar Junior is this little kid. Then
You know something?
suddenly I
I
met you
have,
in the Jumantar,
yes,
and
Hyderabad.
you were, and actually you are older than me.
You know something. I have a very peculiar experience when I visited London Magic Circle. It was, I
Mhm.
think, it was more than 5 years ago, and I had been to London after a gap of 13 years.
Okay,
So
13
I
years.
visited the Magic.
It's been a long
Yes,
time,
13
eh?
years. Yeah, it was a long time. So I visited the Magic Circle, and I just wanted to go around and meet friends. If I could meet some old friends, so I just went in, and I could not find any of my old friends. They were all new to me. So I was just going around, and everyone just looked at me, smiled, and of course they were all continuing doing what they were doing. So
Mm.
I was like, I was feeling lonely because I did not have anyone to speak to. So I was just being with myself, and in the corner I saw someone whom I could recognize. It was John Lennon. So
No,
I went to
John
him,
Lennon.
and I just, John Lennon, yeah.
Oh, John Lennon.
Lennon, yeah. So I went to him.
Okay.
I stood next to him, and he was performing something. And after he finished an act, he was just looking around, and he looked at me. And I said, "Hi, John." I said, "Hi," and I said, "Shankar, India." And he said, "Whoa!" He jumped out, and like he recognized me once because we met before that way long ago. It was 97. So it was a very large gap between our meetings. So there was no way he could recognize me. And suddenly he came up and said, "Hey, everyone, listen, this is Shankar Junior. You remember the one who did the Indian Cups?" And suddenly there was a big applause. Everyone knew who I was, but no one recognized me because exactly the same thing you just said. They did not expect me to be a 38-year-old boy man there. They expected the
So,
13-year-old boy.
so Shankar, how
So
old were you when you played the cups and balls
I was
opened
13.
by David Williamson, right?
I was 13.
13,
Yes, that was
13 years
this
old.
happened. Yes, that was this recording happened a month later to the FISM contest, the FISM 1991 that happened in Lausanne.
Ah, so you joined FISM at the time?
Yes, I performed at the contest in the FISM in 91, and I got the special
Okay.
award of the jury there. And that day, after my performance was done, John Fisher from the Thames Television came to me. He asked me if I could feature in his series, and it was like I got goosebumps when he asked me that. And
Oh.
that was the time when he invited me to come over to London, and we
Mm-hmm.
went there, and I performed for the Magic Comedy Hour. That was a series. I performed alongside Rudy Cobby, Jeff Hobson, David Williamson, and Vladimir Danilian. We all performed together on
Vladimir?
the same stage.
Excuse me, who's
Vladimir
the last one?
Danilian, yes.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay. Because I did forget for those names. David Williamson, I know. Jeff Hobson, I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and Rudy Cobby. You remember Rudy Cobby with the 4 legs?
Yeah,
The act he
maybe.
does with the 4 legs and takes off 1 leg, and that was Rudy Cobby. He did that act there, and then it was Vladimir Danilian. He won the Grand Prix in that FISM.
He won the Grand
from
Prix
Russia.
at the time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
From Russia.
I will check the FISM data on 1991 because
yes,
so when
right.
I think FISM start from 1980s or something.
Exactly. Very, very long time ago. Yes.
So this is my honor to have a chat with you this time. So about the cups and balls.
Yes.
So how did you learn? Was it your first time trick that you learned, or before cups and balls you learned something?
Yeah. It was not the first trick I learned. My journey into magic goes back when I was 2.5 years old. So my first entry onto stage was when I was 2.5 years old. So my father was performing, and I was made to sleep in the backstage. And one fine day when my father was performing, I just went onto the stage. My father was doing the sawing a lady in half with the buzz saw.
Okay, the sawing half lady, yeah.
Yes, with the electric saw. So he was using the buzz saw, and my mother was there
like
on the
same,
table. And
the same tool with David Copperfield saw in half, or different?
PC Sarkar Senior's video on YouTube. He was also using that. He was very famous with that.
Oh, okay.
So my dad was doing that performance, and while I was told that he was about to go ahead, and I came onto the stage. Young kid, 2.5-year-old kid, watching his mom being cut into 2. Imagine this. Okay, so but then luckily my dad said I did not cry. I just saw the whole act, and after the act, when everyone started to applaud, I too applauded and went inside. So that was the day my dad got the name into his mind called Shankar Junior. So he said, "This is
that was the first time.
Yes." So that was my first entry onto stage. And of course, at that time, I was playing with my dad's stuff backstage. After each and effect, the stuff used to come into the green room. I used to play with that. And one day my dad said, "Okay, do it on stage." So he just put me on stage. And I did my first show when I was 3 years old.
3 years old?
That's right. 3 years old. In 1981.
I thought I was great. I started the magic on 7 or 8, but you started at 3 years old.
Yeah, my first show was when I was 3. So after that, of course, I used to perform with my father. Also used to give independent shows. Yes, and I had the opportunity to be in Delhi, the capital city of India. My father got transferred. He was working in the bank, so he got transferred to Delhi, and we were staying in Delhi for 5 years. At that time, my father was very close with the street magicians of Delhi. He worked a lot for the development of the street magicians. So it was my honor to be in link with all these people. So they were very much older than me, but we had this emotional connection. So they were very open with me, and I had the chance of learning directly from them the most of the famous or the Indian traditional magic, like the Indian mango tree trick, the Indian basket trick, and the cups and balls, the North Indian version of the cups and balls. So all these things I had a chance of directly learning from them. You may be knowing the street magicians, they are very tight-lipped. They do not hand it over to the next generation easily. They do it only in the family. But then I was, because of my father, we were all very close to them, and I got the chance of learning this from them. So that's when.
So you learned from this street magician.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought someone taught you, like maybe Michael Amar or someone.
No. That was the first introduction into the Indian
cups and balls you learned from those street magicians.
Yes, exactly.
So it means you really learn what is happening on the cups and balls of India, original Indian cups and
That's how
balls.
that was how I was initially introduced into the cups and balls. But over the
Oh,
years, I had
wonderful.
the chance of learning also, as you said, Western cups and balls through videos and books. Also, I did watch Frank Garcia's version. That was the first
Frank Garcia, yeah.
introduction to me. Frank Garcia's, yes. I had a video from Frank Garcia way back in 86, 85, 86, 1985 or 86. So that was the first time I got that video, and I practiced that routine also. And then after we came down to back to the south of India, to our home, I also had the pleasure of meeting one of the magicians from South India. His name was PP Nanu from Kerala.
I
So
see.
he was master. He is the student of Professor Valakunnam, the legendary Professor Valakunnam from Kerala. He was very famous for his cups and balls effect. So I had the privilege of learning both the North Indian and the South Indian styles of cups and balls. The North Indian I learned from the street magician, and the South
Mhm.
Indian style I learned from the student of Professor Valakunnam, Mr. Nanu. So I did that, and also I had the exposure of watching and trying out the Western cups and balls. So I put all this together,
Oh,
and there was this uh, good friend of ours named Mahadevananda in Mysore. He was a British born magician, but he settled down in India and changed himself as Swami Mahadevananda. So he was having exposure into Indian theater
excuse me,
and
what's the
also
name? Mahadevananda. Mahadevananda?
Mahadevananda.
Okay.
Yes, he joined the Ramakrishna Ashrama. He's a British born. He was born Roger Timms, but then he converted himself to Swami Mahadevananda. He was also a
Okay,
magician.
okay.
He was into theater. He was into DIY. He was into 100 different things. Amazing. So he was the person who actually tied everything together and taught me or exposed me into the Western way of presentation also. So he prepared my act for the FISM competition. So he taught me the etiquettes of contest. So that's
I
how
see.
I put all this together, and I made this act. So if you would see my act, which you just put on, of course, it's 3/4 of the actual act I did in the contest. And if you see that act, it's a mixture of North Indian, South Indian, and also a few bits from the Western cups and balls. So it's all mixed up together.
Hmm.
That's how the
Okay.
whole act.
So it means the act that you played in the TV, in the US
Yeah.
TV. What's the name of the TV? NBC or something?
No, it was not US. It was British. It was Thames
Oh,
Television.
sorry, British.
Thames.
Okay, so it was your own compilation of the effect. So
Yes.
oh, in 13 years old, you created that.
I had a lot of help. It was not just me. I had a lot of help by all these people joined together. But yeah, that was it.
Oh,
13 years old.
this is incredible, Shankar, because even myself, on the 13 years old, I couldn't create my own routine.
I
Yeah,
was
I
lucky.
need help from my teacher. But
Yeah,
you did different. Oh, you are genius, Shankar.
my pleasure.
Yeah, even people watching it until now, it's still confusing. It's how did you do that? Even if I see again, oh, this is really difficult. The high technique skill of cups and balls for your age also. Moreover, your age was 13 years old.
The funny part was that when I went to the FISM contest and my name was introduced as Shankar Junior, and my father went onto this dais. He asked the people to remove the table, because usually close-up contest you have a table and a chair. So the table and the
Mm,
chair were removed, and my father spread the mat on the floor, and everyone there
mm.
thought that he was Shankar Junior. And then I made my entry. So they were watching a 13-year-old boy come on to the desk for a contest. So that was surprise number one. And surprise number two was I was seated on the floor. So no table, no place to hide. I'm being a magician, you understand. So no
Yeah,
place to hide.
like a street magician style.
Exactly, exactly. So I was sitting on the floor, and I started doing my act. And of course, you watch if you watch the Western Cups and Balls, to which people are usually exposed to. The effects I did in this act was totally opposite. Or if you think in the lines of Western Cups and Balls, you will never know how this was done. So that was another surprise. So I had a big round of applause when I ended. I had to come for a curtain call also. So it gave me goosebumps there. And next was, after the act was over, I had many people come to me and ask me if I could perform for them, because many people missed my act. As you know, in FISM, there are different events happening at different points of time. So people missed. And I was like, one of the person who came to me was Andre Cole. And he asked me if I could perform this act for David Copperfield.
David Copperfield.
Yeah, of course. Remember, David Copperfield for me was god of magic for me at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
I think until now he's still.
yes, of course. No, imagine me, a 13-year-old boy having his god of magic asking him to perform for him. It was like unexplainable. So I said, definitely, there's no point of asking permission. I am there. I'm going to perform for him. So, and I performed for David Copperfield, and my privilege was performing for Mark Wilson and Nanny Wilson. They were also with there, and Mark was so happy. He presented his the complete course of magic, the book he wrote. So I had a privilege of having that book from him. And then another thing was, I was asked to perform for a group of magicians. I never knew half of them, but I performed for them in a corner of a hall.
And for
So
sure, afterwards, they know you.
Yeah, no,
And you know them.
you know, the worst part was I did not know half of them, and I have that photograph. And later on, I look into it and I see all legends of magic in that photograph. And at that age, I did not know them. It was Mike Cavaney, Relevant. It was Jonathan and Charlotte Pendragon. Everyone was there in that photograph.
Mike Cavaney, Jonathan and Charlotte Pendragon was there. They were there.
Yes,
Whoa.
yes, they were watching me perform.
Wow.
I was like, I can't imagine how that happened.
That's why no wonder that you are a part of the legend of magic also right now.
Oh God, I was like, I'm getting these goosebumps. I'm
still young, yeah. We can say you're young, even you have 2 children already. All right, you have 2 children or 3 children?
I have one son. One son, yeah.
Okay. So, but in our thinking that the Shankar Junior is like this guy is legend.
I think that keeps me young and bubbling for me.
So let me share screen. Let me share screen.
Okay.
Okay. So can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just waiting for the
so
video.
if we Google cups and balls Wikipedia.
Okay.
Let's see. If we Google cups and balls Wikipedia, I think you are there also. If I'm not wrong,
I think I got a screenshot of this somewhere. Yes. Down below, you can see my. I think it was it Indian cups and balls? No. That was a photograph taken by Pete Byro in that.
I
too got a screenshot from someone like a good friend like you who sent me a screenshot.
If I'm not wrong, you were there. This one, Indian cups and balls. Yeah. Can you read this? And your name is. And your name is there.
Yes,
so
exactly.
If I can read for all of the viewers, Indian cups and balls from Wikipedia of cups and balls. In India, the cups and balls were performed seated on the ground with an audience stood or in chairs around the performer. This unique line of sight for the audience gave rise to some unique sleight of hand moves the cups that are used are shaped like a shallow ball with a small knob handle on the top. So it's like a wine glass, but from the wood, right, Shankar? Eh?
Yes, exactly. It's made of
Yeah.
wood.
They are often held between the first two fingers by this handle. The shallow nature of the cups means that a large item cannot be produced at the end of the routine. So the routine is often ended with the production of many of the same size balls. Although Shankar Junior would end with the production of black powder from one of the balls. This is amazing. This is a great finale of
Yes,
your routine, Shankar.
exactly. Exactly.
Like
Thank
a
you.
black powder.
That was a suggestion by Mahadevananda, because usually in the climax you end with three different bigger size balls. But then I wanted to add a counter climax, because everyone expected, yes, but you will end with the three big balls under each cup. So what I did was I acted as if I'm ending the act. So everything was done. I packed everything up, but there was still one cup left, and I just gave a shake, and mustard seeds started falling out of it. They were all black mustard.
Yeah. And also the good thing is the powder came out. Came out
As a shower.
not directly spread, but
Yes, as
like
a shower. Yes,
a waterfall.
yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That was how it
great,
was made.
really
Exactly.
great. Yeah, that makes you a legend until now,
Thank you. Thank
in
you.
my perspective.
I
Yeah,
I
I
then
think
added. Sorry.
I
Yeah.
think most of the people agree with me also.
Thank you. I actually later on I added I made another routine for my next visit to Leeuwarden, Holland, and I added the dancing duck with that. You know, dancing duck, the Indian dancing duck is a very famous effect. It's again a street
Dancing
magic.
duck
Yeah, you have a ball of water, and you
looks
place a
interesting. I
wooden
think.
duck. Yeah, yeah, you have a big ball of water, and you have a wooden duck, which is passed around for examination, and that wooden duck
Okay.
is dropped onto the water and it floats, and then when you play the music, the duck starts to dance. So it
Oh,
gives a movement, it starts to dance according to the music. So this was what the original Indian dancing duck was. And what I did, because the cups and balls routine I got from the Valakunam tradition, was like a song. So what I did was, when I was performing Ajjaga Jay Jay Ja Addimita Kata, when I was saying that, the duck used to dance.
what does it mean? What does it mean?
it,
That's
it doesn't mean anything. It's like a
the
magic
unique
word. It's like
word.
hocus pocus and
Is it
abracadabra.
the Hindi language? Is it the Hindi
It is
language or?
Indian language. Yes. It is Indian language. It's called Malayalam. The language is called Malayalam.
Okay, so
It's
not Hindi, right?
It's not Hindi. It's not Hindi. It's the southern part
Okay.
of India. It comes from the state of
Okay.
Kerala.
Ah,
So it's
that's
Malayalam,
why
and
it's the words that my family remember about your routine is I did takata. I don't know what did you say?
it doesn't mean anything.
I did takata.
Yes,
Is it right?
yes. It says Ajjaga Jay Jay Ja Addimita Kata. So it's actually it's like a magic word, like hocus pocus and abracadabra.
Like
That's it.
abracadabra, yeah, like a
Exactly.
gili gili. Yeah.
Yes. So that is it.
That's why you
So
name your magic gili gili magic.
yes, Gili Gili was
Yeah.
actually we organized international conventions in our hometown Udupi 3 times. That was in 94, 97, and 2001. So we became very popular because of that convention. So people started to recognize us as Gili Gili Shankar. So it was like that. So that's why we made Gili Gili Magic our trademark. So I got it registered, and now we are using it as our trademark.
Great. So, Shankar, can you tell us about your family? Because we heard that your family is like a family of magic,
Exactly.
like the Harry
As I
Potter
told you,
family,
my father started performing.
some kind like that.
As I told you, my father was performing. He started to perform when he was in 7th grade, so 14 years of age. And my mother, after she married my father, she joined him on stage as a stage assistant, and she was also performing between his acts to give him time to change and set up for the next act. So she was performing in between. And after I just started performing, I too joined on stage, and I was performing. My sister, she became my main stage hand, because like when my father was performing, my mother assisted. When I was performing, my sister assisted. She was like she's 7 years younger to me,
Hmm.
so she also started performing. Then after we got married, it's like I married my brother-in-law's sister, so they are brothers and sisters.
Okay,
So
okay.
we are married to the same family. And my wife, she's also coming on stage, she also assists on the stage. My brother-in-law, he handles the music and the lights, background lights. And my father-in-law used to give music, and he's still like to my father. So they are childhood friends. My father-in-law and my
Hmm.
father are childhood friends. And now the kids have joined in. I have a son who is also joining on stage and performing in between. And I have a niece who is also part of the show. So it's a complete family. So everyone in the family, we go out and perform. That's it.
It doesn't happen in most of the family like you.
Exactly. And,
Even
that's a
myself,
that's a
I started magic from myself, not because from my parents or. Uh,
Yeah, my father did that. My father started by himself. He had no one to
okay.
teach. He learned by himself. He developed by himself, and he taught me whatever he knew. All the effects he used to do, he taught me, and that's how I came into it. But then one thing, he made sure that I do not imitate him or copy him. So my style of performance, the effects I perform, everything is totally different than what he performs. So he made sure that I develop my own line of performing. So I got training from different people. I had an opportunity of learning from Doug Henning. So that was like another big boost for me, Doug Henning.
Yeah, that's my
And he
next
was
question. So, you are the student of Doc Henning.
I was the last person to be taught by Doug Henning, because Doug
That's
Henning left magic,
Tell me about it.
and he
How did you go to Doc Henning for learning magic?
yeah. The point was, Doug Henning, he retired from magic, performing magic. He came down to India, and he wanted to learn transcendental meditation. So that's how he came down here. And when he came to Delhi, we were all in Delhi, and my father was actively involved with all the magician circle there. So we had a reception for Doug Henning. So Doug Henning was there, Debbie was there, and we had a reception, and we all mingled together, and everyone performed a trick, and I do performed an effect. And after that show, Doug asked my father if he could meet him and me separately, privately. So we went down. We had lunch together, and Doug taught me a few effects with the coin and how to make it look natural and so on. And then he saw, I don't know what he saw in me. He said, "Would you be able to come down to the ashram, the place where he was staying, the weekend?" So it was an honor for us. So we traveled. It was a very long journey, nearly 1 hour by bike. We did not have a car at that time.
Yeah.
So my father had a bike, and myself, my mother, my father, and my sister, four of us on the bike. Imagine this, huh? So we were traveling over an hour by road, and we went to Doug in his place, and he went very deep into teaching me the essence of magic. I
Hmm.
learned how to make magic really magical from Doug Henning. That was the biggest lesson I got. Not the effects. I wouldn't. Of course, he taught me all through all the effects he taught, but the principles of magic was the real essence I got was from Doug Henning. Because my father, he learned by himself. There was no one to teach him. So Doug was the person who actually trained me in all these parts. So he taught me the linking ring, which I still do in every show of mine. Yes, it was. I used to do it with small. My hands were very small, so Doug asked me if I could make a linking ring which was small. So
This
the
size?
next weekend, yeah, just small. Yes, it was 5 to 6 inches.
The medium
That's
size,
it.
the medium size.
Exactly. So I got that linking ring made, and then he taught me the effects. And that time we did not have a video camera with us, not even a camera. So what Doug did, he had a tape recorder with him, and he put a cassette into it, and made an audio recording of all the moves. So all the moves he taught was through the audio recording. So I still have that audio recording with me. So after that, he taught me Gene Anderson paper tear and the pom pom sticks and the bending mirror and all those things he taught me. And through that, he taught me the principles. And then the day came when he said, "I'm really sorry, I am not allowed to take in visitors from now on because he was going into the next stage of meditation. So he was not allowed to take visitors. So this was the last day we will meet." And that day, he presented me his personal magic wand.
Magic
And
wand.
with a magic wand, it was Hawaiian wood with ivory tips. And he, with the
So you
letter
still keep
certifying.
it?
Sorry?
So you still keep it until now?
Yes, it's in my vault. I keep it locked under lock and key. I don't put it on
Oh,
display. It's under lock and key. But
yeah, yeah.
yes, I treasure that. I treasure that. So it's a wonderful piece of magic equipment, and with the letter he gave me, and yeah, I was honored to be with Doug Henning. But then yes, that was I was the last person, for the last magician probably he met and mentored.
Great. You are so lucky, Shankar. You are
Definitely.
truly legend. Yeah. And
I
also,
truly
you
feel
have
honored.
experience. You have experience with so many legend of magic entire world
Yeah, the
worldwide.
world gave me this opportunity, so I'm very very happy and grateful to that.
Yeah. So, what are you doing with your magic right now? Are you full-time magician right now, or you also have something business, another
Yeah.
business?
Yes, I magic has never been a full time for me. Magic was always a hobby, and
Mhm.
I love doing it as a hobby. And apart from magic, I work in Mangalore. My cousin brother is running a company. We
Yeah,
are electrical.
you are in Mangalore. Yeah? Mangalore is South
Yeah,
India. Yeah.
I work. Yes, exactly. So it's
Yeah.
a coastal town. I stay in Udupi, which is again a coastal town. We are just 4 kilometers away from the beach. And I work in Mangalore, which is further down south, and it's about 60 kilometers in between. So I used to travel daily to office, and my work was there. We are electrical contractors. We provide electrical services. I did my
Mm.
masters in computer applications, and I handle the office. My
Mm.
brother-in-law, he's the sorry, my cousin brother. He is the proprietor of the company. He is an electrical engineer. So
Ah,
I handle the office. Of course, we have a big team backing us. I handle the office administration and billing and all this. And there are other people handling technical stuff in between. So why? Because I don't do magic regularly. I go out shows on invitation. When people call me for a show, I go and perform and come back. So when I'm not doing magic, I'm here in office, or the other way around. So now what has happened because of the lockdown, pandemic, I'm not traveling to office. I'm doing all the work at home. So I made a small setup in my garage wherein I work with some online stuff. So I'm developing a online show. It's a very difficult part. Actually, if you are being a magician, you understand. Doing an online show is totally different from doing a live show. My live show is all about people watching, interacting. It's about emotions. Now doing it online, even now when I'm talking to you, I'm looking at my monitor which is down here. I cannot get an eye contact with you. It's when you're performing live without an eye contact, without the response coming back, it's really difficult. So I'm really having a tough time. I'm actually building up the show to see how it works and so on. So past 2-3 months I've been doing the technical stuff, the lighting, the camera, and the thing, everything going in. And hopefully I'll come out with the show and do a show. I don't know when, but maybe it'll come in the near future.
so what do you think during this pandemic situation? What do you think about the magic situation? I mean, the magician that their profession is totally full-time magician. So how can they
It's
survive with this
really tough.
situation?
It is really tough. It is really tough because, as far as I understand, I don't think we are going to have a magic show live happening live for at least 6 to 8 months. At least I am mentally preparing myself for 1 year. Not doing, not being able to do, not doing. I'm not saying not doing, but not being able to do a live show for live people for at least a year. Now, because I don't have magic as a full-time profession, yes, I can manage. But those people who are full-time into magic, who have to earn their bread and butter through magic, I know it's a very difficult time. It's really difficult. I can't imagine the situation, because I have a few friends who are really having tough time surviving through magic. Because yes, in the initial part of this pandemic, when people were stuck at home, yes, there were a lot of online shows, webinars happening, online shows happening, and people could do something at least to get the name running. But now people are not in the mood to watch, because they want everything to get cleared off and come back to a new normal. So I don't know if people are now in the mood to watch online session or online magic show or something of that sort. So I don't know what will happen, but it's nothing is in our hands. So I don't think we need to think about tomorrow now. Just think about today, and tomorrow we'll think about it tomorrow. So I think that's way of being
Yeah.
positive. Because
Yeah,
if you
I
think
think this
about
is
tomorrow,
a difficult
something else
situation,
will
yeah,
happen.
for
Very difficult. Very difficult.
yeah,
I can't.
difficult
Yes,
situation. Not only the magician in your place, but also
everyone.
in my place. Also, even maybe in
So true.
US, in the uh, another place also, it's difficult time because so many entertainment places are closed. Yeah,
Exactly.
and or maybe not open yet, and maybe if they open, they also have some limitation for the social distancing. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Also
also a
think
part of
about
the
schools.
challenge.
Also think about schools, because there are many magicians who survive only by performing in schools. Now schools
Yeah,
are
yeah,
shut. They're not going to open in the near future. And even if they open, they will not have time for a magic show. They want to finish off the studies. So
that's why
if
that's this is also, yeah,
so if even if the schools open and a magician goes there and ask them if they are ready to for a magic show, I don't think the schools will be happy to take in a magician at that time. So it's really a tough time.
yeah. So hopefully it won't be long, too
Yes, we
long,
just
right?
pray for that. Pray for this. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. That's the only thing we can do. We can only pray for this to get cleared as early as possible. But that's it. And till then, just keep hope. Do the best you can in all the way you can. That's the only thing we can hope.
yeah. So for your activities right now, do you also teach magic online or online shows on streaming like this also, or anything you
I
do with your magic right now?
Yeah, I do give suggestions. I do magic classes online, but not as a regular stuff, but just on invitation. Like there are people who have some doubts they want to clear, or some magicians who want me to give a lecture of that sort. I did do a few online workshops with magic, so shared a few of my effects as a workshop. So there are workshops happening on WhatsApp, there are workshop happening on Zoom, there's workshop happening on all different platforms,
Yeah,
and yeah, also
because
there are people
when
who are
I invite you for this, also I'm sure that you are so busy, man. Not only for your magic, but also for your business. So I need to
yeah.
I get some appointment from you first. But fortunately, you give me anytime you want, Ganga.
I'll call
This
you
is I'm
anytime,
just so
my
happy.
friend. Anytime. You are a good friend of mine, so that's not a problem. No, actually, I was worried about having a good internet connection, because, of course, it does go up and down. So I had a few bad experiences earlier when I went online, and the net was not very supportive.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
this
now
time is a really good connection.
I'm
It's very clear.
I'm keeping three backup with me. Huh? So I've got three connections as backup with me just in case something goes wrong. So, but still, it's going good. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, and of
Yeah,
course, I have a few youngsters who are into magic and who have got lots of questions in their minds and doubts they want to clear, and I do help them with that. And of course, I am not in favor of the things wherein I spoon feed everything. I just have to teach them each and everything. No, I give them one small bit and ask them to develop on themselves, because I want them to develop on themselves. So that's my way of explaining things. So I will just give them a bit and say, okay, now you try this, do it, and then come back to me. So then that's when they come back and say, oh, this is what I feel. So that is the way I make sure they are really interested in learning things and to develop by themselves. So I think that's the best way of learning for me.
So, Shankar, you
Yes,
are
please.
the legend of magic, but you do magic mostly only for hobby. So, what do you think about nowadays magic? Nowadays is so many people maybe same like you, but not for sure will not be the same exactly like you. So many expert people, maybe a doctor, maybe a lawyer. They have they have a hobby in magic.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Do you think this is a new era of magic because so many expert people can do magic? So, what about the original magician? Tell me about your perspective.
I yes, definitely this is a new era because remember I was talking to a few friends before this. There was one time when magicians were keeping everything to themselves. They were very tightly into themselves. They were not coming out to other magicians or people from other field and teaching them or probably sharing with them. No, they were only concerned with what they were doing and they were performing. So there was an era when that was happening, and then slowly magicians started to open up and they started sharing with other magicians. So now that slowly happened, and people are sharing between themselves. Yes, that is happening now. It is coming a bit more wider when the people are magicians are sharing with people of other community, like probably, as you said, doctors and lawyers. And people, when they use magic in their own field, in their own way, I think that is how an art develops. I know a person who is working for a medical company who is selling drugs to doctors. So when he goes there, he's always made to wait by the doctor outside, and then he gets an appointment to go in. He goes in, and the doctor is, the whole day he was seeing a lot of patients, and his mood is off. He's not in the mood to actually look into the products and so on. At that time, he introduces some magic. He does some magic for the doctor and relaxes the mind. The doctor is now fresh, and that time he says, okay, now this is my product, and probably does something like that. I know a person who is doing counseling for psychiatric patients. Psychological counseling is doing, and he's using magic for all the better personality management stuff. So he's doing that. There are people in different fields. Edward A. Morris, you might be knowing Edward Morris, who was the international president of the IBM, International Brotherhood of Magicians. He was a lawyer. He used magic in the court to explain one
Hmm.
of the cases.
Yeah.
He performed the rope effect on in the court. So people of different fields, when they use magic in their own fields, I think this is how our art is spreading around. It's becoming wide. But again, people need to understand the seriousness of magic, not take it lightly and use it in the wrong way, if I would say, because that also is happening. Because people of different fields, if they use magic in their own field, but if magic does not get the respect it should get, that is also bad. So I think that is somewhere we need to draw a silver line and see where magic should stand and where the effect should be, exact place where the effect should be. So I think that is something everyone needs to understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Great explanation. So, because I'm thinking that with some widespread of this scope of the magician, yeah, because I'm thinking that what about the original magician whom they do magic for the full time? Do they feel like, oh, so many people nowadays can do magic? So what about us,
Now
the
I
full time
think we
magician?
need to grow. I think we need to grow. That's the only thing. I can't
And
stay into
that's a
being a
good thing
magician
actually.
in my
Yeah,
90s.
when
Yes.
the magic scope getting wider, so it's a good actually. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So no thing is, now I will get more of an attention because I'm a magician. You have seen a doctor who does magic and said, "Hey, magic, you are a magician. Can you show me the real magic, please?" So that's how you come in view to show the real magic. Because of course, a
Yeah.
doctor did a magic. People know he's not a magician. He's just using the art of magic in his field. That's it. But then when they really see a real magician, the real magician in front of you, they say, "Okay, you're the real magician. Can you show something?" And that's where he gets more of importance. Now, I think this, as we should use it as an advantage. Never think about we losing our area to other people. No, We should grow ourselves. When the art is growing, we also should grow. We also should move with the time. I can't expect to be running a show, a ticket show. Talking about ticket shows, if I would take the reference of India, earlier we used to have magicians who book a hall for 15 days, 20 days, 1 month or 2 months and run a ticket show running for like that. But now ticket shows are being run in a small scale. 100 people, 200 people, one show, two show, done. Or probably there are no ticket shows at all. They're all sponsored shows because people, instead of buying a ticket, I think it's, or say go around selling tickets, it's easier for them to just sponsor a show. They'll just sponsor a show and give it out for free for all the members. The members will come and watch the show. They will not pay anything, but they will just go and see and enjoy, because of course, as a magician, you're already paid. But then you don't have to go around and sell tickets. So the time is changing because people don't now want to go to a show, spend money and go to a show when they can actually see it on their mobile. So why do you expect them? Even with online shows, I was thinking of the same thing. If I'm doing an online show and if I just perform here and you keep watching there, who is going to watch my online show? Because you can see much better production, much better things happening on the YouTube.
Yeah,
if you
and
go to
also
YouTube,
people also think like this, Shankar, when they see the online show. What's the difference if I see another magician perform on the YouTube, on maybe a TikTok, Instagram?
Yeah. Definitely. See, that is why my next the show I'm developing, I'm calling it Between You and Me. So that show is going to be between you and me. It's going to be between us. It's about us. You be the part of the show only, then you will enjoy it. So this show is going to be something wherein people actually be part of it. So when you emotionally connect yourself with the show, it's not about me. It's not about me being the master of magic for 100 years. No, it's about you. You join in, you experience the magic. I will make you experience magic. So if you join in, that's where you will actually have the feel. So that is why I called it Between You and Me. So it's not about me showing off my skill. So it's not me showing off, no skill being shown. It's not a show off. No, it's about you getting an experience. Yeah? Exactly. So that is what I'm working on. Yeah.
By involving people. Yeah. So not one direction show, right? So
not at all.
You and magic like that. So Shankar, maybe you have something to show to us in your pocket or something?
I don't have anything prepared out. This was a totally unexpected thing for me. I would.
Yeah, maybe next time if we have another chance to do online. Yeah, so
definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, do an online comment. What do you think if we make a show by online or something? Me and Shankar Junior.
Definitely.
Share your thoughts.
I think we can do a show together. You perform for me and I perform for you, and we'll have all the people watching us.
Sure, we can make like that. We can plan for that.
I think people should post a comment on this, and we'll see how what we can do for you. I think that's better.
So Shankar, anyway, I remember the last time we met on the Hyderabad domestic airport.
Yes,
we weren't so good to say goodbye because I was lost a signal. No Wi-Fi over there, so we lost each other. You went to Mangalore, I went to Delhi, right?
Yes.
So now it's time to say the nicely goodbye, and thank you very much for our 1 hour with the legend of magic, Shankar Junior, in my first episode with the magic legend. So hopefully we can keep in touch again and maybe create some collaboration of the show. Maybe online.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Shankar Junior, you are the son of Professor Shankar, right?
Exactly.
So your father's name is Professor Shankar.
And Gilly Gilly Magic is trade name. So if you can search on gillygillymagic.com, that's my website, and you can get all details there. Thanks.
Okay. Let me type on the box like this.
Yeah, sure.
So how to say Gilly Gilly Magic.
Yeah, GILIMAGIC.
Let me try like this. Isn't it?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you want to know more about Shankar Junior, you just go to your Facebook and search Shankar Junior, or go to his website, giligilimagic.com. And what other platform, social media platform you have?
I am on
Facebook,
Insta. Yes, I am
website,
on Twitter, but not very
YouTube.
active. But I am on Facebook, moderately active on Facebook. Of course, I cannot accept more friends because I've exhausted the limits of friends. But you can like my page, Gili Gili Magic, on Facebook. I'll be in touch there too.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Shankar Junior. So
Thank you.
hopefully for all the best for you. Yeah. So
And same
see you
to
next
everyone
time,
around
hopefully.
the world. I'll pray for everyone. I'll just hope everything gets to normal soon, and we all get back on track as early as possible.
Yeah. So Shankar, last question. What about the Chumantar this year? Chumantar convention? Will it still there, or
No conventions
it will be
happening.
postponed?
No conventions happening. No, I think it's going to be postponed. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
happening because
Okay.
in this condition,
Okay.
I don't think any convention will happen now.
Yeah, we
But
can
maybe
discuss it.
it might go online. Yes.
We can discuss it later. So thank you very much,
Definitely.
Shankar, again.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Pleasure.
I will close
Bye-bye.
this. Yeah. Bye bye,
Same
Shankar
here. Thank
Junior.
you.
All the best. Best wishes.
Same here. Same here.